Hi everyone, and welcome back to another 3 Looks 1 palette. If you're new to my channel, you will probably know that I like to do these with probably all of the palettes that I buy. And I have a kitty visiting me right now, and he would like to be in the video. Say hello. I don't know if you can see him. But we are going to be doing 3 looks with the Fetish palette, and I love this palette. Look at this freaking cat. Can I help you? This is why I don't let him in here. Okay, moving on. So we're going to be doing 3 looks with the Fetish palette today. If you don't know what it looks like this. I also just did a first impression on it. I will leave that video up there if you want to check it out. So today I don't really know what I want to do, but I kind of want to try out the green shade because it's really calling my name. I'm first priming my eyes with my MAC paint pot. So I think what I want to do is I want to take this gray shade called S&N, and I'm taking this on my Morphe M506 brush. And without setting my eyeshadow primer, I'm going to start by just packing this on the outer corner of my eye. And I kind of want this to be not like an editorial look, but I'm going to probably use only 2 shades for this. And I'm going to be using this one and the green one. And so I'm going to have this gray on the outer half of my eye, and I'm also creating a bit of a diagonal line here going this way, and then I will be putting the green on the first part of my eye. And so when I've got the shade kind of pat down where I want it, I'm going to start just like gently using small circular motions and just blending out the edges up here. And I'm also pulling this shade out quite a bit, so kind of to create a wing. And I will also be connecting this to the lower lash line in a little bit. I'm taking the same shade on my Morphe M149 brush, and I'm going to start connecting that to the lower lash line. And I'm winging this out quite a bit because I want it to be a bit of a dramatic look. Churro, you know you're not allowed up here. What are you doing? So it's going to look a little something like this, and I really like how this is looking so far, and I think with the green, when I put that down, it's going to look really good. I'm going to take that green shade, and I'm going to use my same little Morphe brush. I obviously cleaned it, and I'm going to start stamping this color on to the inner part of my eye until I'm able to connect it with the gray. I'm actually switching to a little bit of a flatter packing brush because I want to make sure that I get enough pigment on here to really cover up the base underneath. Also, I'm going to start blending it into the gray. And I think to spice this look up a little bit, I'm going to take this purple shade called Corset, and I'll be putting that in the inner third of my lower lash line, or I guess just wherever I don't have any gray. And I know this color is not going to be very different than the gray, but it's going to be a little bit lighter and just offer more of a pop of color, I suppose. And I like putting a little bit of purple somewhere on my eye because it really goes with my hair. And I'm just going to be smoking these out. Next, I'm just taking a clean fluffy brush, and I'm going to be running this just on the lower lash line to blend out all these colors on here. And for my inner corner, I'm going to use this green shimmer shade called Shibari. Still using my little Morphe brush, and I also spray this just to get the most pigment out of it. And I'm just going to be packing this in my inner corner a little bit onto my lower lash line, but I don't want to cover up purple that we put down. And I'm going to be bringing this up quite high on the lid, about 1/3 of the way in, I'd say, to really make this look come to life. And I'm also pulling it all the way up into my crease. And I'm actually going to pull this pretty far, almost all over where I put that green, because I did find it to be a little bit patchy, so I really like how this is layering on top of the green. I think that makes it look really pretty. Kind of digging how crazy this is looking. yeah, I think this looks cool. I kind of want to do a little something more in my inner corner, but I don't know what. I think I'm going to pop a little bit of this silvery shade up here, which is called Cuffs. Just taking a little bit of that on the same brush and just popping it right into my inner corner. And I'm going to just put a little bit of black in my waterline, which I usually don't really do because I don't like black in the waterline that much, but I feel like with this look, it's going to just really bring it together. And I'm not going to do a wing today, I'm just going to trace my lash line just to get a little bit more definition because I don't like tight lining. My eyes are pretty sensitive, so when I do tight line, I tend to really start watering, so I'm just kind of running this on top of my lash line. And for my mascara, I'm using the Bad Gal Bang by Benefit, and this is my all-time favorite mascara. I don't know why, it just really works for me. I can see why some people say it's a little bit clumpy, but honestly, once you get past like the first week or so, like it dries out a little bit, and it just becomes awesome. Like, do you see what that did to my lashes? Like, I swear to God, this is the most amazing mascara ever. And for my lips, I haven't decided what I want to do yet. I just had a nude that I smeared on a little bit. So I think for lips, I'm going to use this Ofra purple lipstick in the shade Cape Town. So here is look number one, all complete. I really like it, and I feel like this is the kind of look that the palette was meant to do. Do you know what I mean? Like when you look at a palette, you kind of like think of looks that inspire you, that you want to do. And this is one of those kind of looks for me with this palette. So I'm excited to keep playing with this. So I think we should just jump into look number two. Okay, I'm back. So it's literally been 5 minutes. I washed off my eye makeup because I was like, I want to play more with makeup. So that's what we're going to do. So for my second look, I want to, I think, use the reds because I did get a request from someone wanting me to play with the red shades. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to just start off by putting bondage in my crease. I've already primed my eyes, and I think I'm going to actually set my base now because I will be doing quite a bit of blending, and these shadows are so pigmented that they don't need help and anything to stick onto really. So I'm just making my job a little bit easier, whereas that first look, I find that when I do looks like that where I put all matte shades on the lids, I like to not set my base because I don't want anything looking patchy. But when I'm going to be starting with something in my crease and like building up different colors, then I like to set my base first. So I'm using my Morphe E9 brush. This has been my favorite actually crease brush for a while now. I used to be more of a fan of like bigger brushes for starting out a look, but this is just like the perfect size brush for my eyelids, and I really like it, and it's been holding up really nicely too. I've washed it quite a few times, and I just like the feel of this brush. So I'm not really sure where I'm going with this look. I'm just kind of building up the outer part of my eye here, and then I'll probably start pulling this in to my inner corner. And with these videos, I really like to show you guys like different ways to position your eyeshadows. Like in that first look, you don't really see a lot of people doing this. Like this right here seems to be like what most people gravitate towards, where they start off with a crease color and then they go from there. And I kind of like to branch out and show you guys that you don't have to always follow the norm and do what everyone else is doing. It's okay to like play with makeup and not really always have a plan, but just kind of see where makeup takes you, you know? Like that's why it's so fun to make these videos, because I feel like I can really be creative and just kind of sit down and play, and also have someone to share it with. So far I'm really liking all the mattes that I've tried in this palette. I find that they just blend very nicely. They have a lot of pigment to them. The pigment doesn't just like go away when you start blending, and I don't know, they just look really nice on the eyes. Next, with the same brush, I'm just dipping into the black, and I'm going to use this to deepen this look up quite a bit. always try to stamp it on where I want most of the pigment first before I go in and start blending. So that will be on the outer corner right here. And then I'm pulling it in instead of pulling it up, just so I don't have too much product on my brush when I do start to blend. So I'm just kind of wiping off my brush on a towel in front of me, and I'm starting to just use circular motions to blend out the edges here. And if it's looking a little bit patchy, you can always go over again with that red. So I will do that in a little bit when I get this dark enough. And please don't be afraid of black eyeshadow, because black can really make it look very dramatic. And I feel like you just need a little bit of practice on how to work with black. And once you know like how much to put on and how to blend it out, I find that black actually looks really cool. And I find it's a much more fun way to deepen up a look than to use brown. But that's just me personally. I know a lot of people like using brown in their outer corner. I'm not one of those people, so if there's a black in a palette, especially for the holiday seasons and, you know, just like fall in general, not that I really do my makeup according to seasons, but I do like being able to have something that I feel comfortable making darker looks with, and brown just don't really do it for me. I just don't feel like myself in them, and I also don't feel like it really makes my eyes pop. So I'm going back in with that red now, and I'll be going in with that quite a few times just to make sure that everything is blended. So this again is also going to be quite a dark look, and I think I want all my looks in this palette to be kind of dark because I want to kind of stick to the theme of the palette, you know? Like, this is not meant to be a summer palette, so I'm not going to be doing like a yellow smoky eye with this, at least not for this video. And I also kind of like the seasons changing to have an excuse to do more dark looks. Again, not that I wouldn't normally, but I just feel like it's more appropriate this time of the year. And also it's been so freaking hot here that I'm just like looking forward to fall, and that also makes me want to just pretend like it's fall and dress in cozy sweaters even though it's 100 degrees out, and burning pumpkin candles, which I've been doing the past week, and I love scented candles. Let me know down below what your favorite kind of scented candles is. For me, it's definitely anything that like smells like food, any kind of sweet food. I have the biggest sweet tooth in the world. Like, it's not even like okay like how much of a sweet tooth I have. Like, I could live on sweet stuff, and I basically do. I probably have like 2 sweet meals a day. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I always start my day with like a yogurt bowl with like cereal and like chocolate chips, and yeah, don't judge, but I just, you know, I just need it. It's what my body wants, and so that's what I give myself. So I am pulling out the shadows quite a bit on my outer corner because I just find that it flatters my eye shape more, and it just like opens up my eyes. I'm going to keep this look fairly simple, and I'm also going to run this red on my lower lash line. And I'm also taking a little bit of the black just on the outer corner to connect it to the lid, and just to help blend everything out. So this is where you start blending out the very outer corner and make sure that the lines, however it is that you want them, look the way that you do want them, and make sure everything's blended out. And just going back and forth between the black and the red, making sure that it looks the way that I want it to. Next on my lid, I'm sure you're not surprised, I'm going to take Dominatrix, which is just a shimmery red shade, and I'm really excited to see how this looks on the eyes. And this is looking amazing on the brush already. It picked up very nicely, and I probably won't have to spray this, but I'm going to do it anyway because I don't like to risk having any fallout if I don't have to. And I'm going to start by putting this. Ooh, wow. Oh my god. Oh my god. This could be like my favorite shade that I've tried in a very long time. It is very hard to find just a red shimmery shade. Like, I would have paid a lot of money for this shade as a single. So the fact that this is in this palette just makes me so freaking happy. So I'm kind of making this look like I'm doing a cut crease, even though I obviously didn't cut my crease, but since this shadow is so freaking pigmented, like I can almost manipulate it into looking like whatever I want. So now I got the outer corner, I'm just like fading it out. Oh, I love this shade. Taking a little bit more of the black on my small fluffy Morphe brush, and I'm just patting this over and making sure that everything is blended here on the outer corner. And I'm also going over the shimmer just a little bit. And I know the shape of this is looking very similar to the look that I just did, but I don't know. It's just sometimes you get a palette that's just like, do this with me, and then you just listen. You know, you get a calling from the palette and then you just do what the palette tells you to do, and this is what I was told to do today, so I'm just listening. I can't really help it. So I actually think I'm going to take that red shimmery shade and I'm also going to pull it on into my inner corner and onto my lower lash line and just kind of wrap it around. And so I don't want to be using any more shades than these 3, I don't think. I'm gonna keep this fairly simple, because I am just so in love with this red shade. Like, this is a very unique shade in my collection. I know I said that about the blue shimmer shade in my first impression video as well, but I really feel like this palette has a lot of shades that I haven't seen been released in a while, if ever, since I got into makeup, or at least that I've had access to or known about. So I'm like so excited about this red shade, you have no idea. Like, I am loving this so much. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on some lighter mascara again, and then I'll figure out what to do with lips after. So I kind of feel like I need to do a black lip with one of these looks, and I feel like this look is just kind of like telling me that I need to put on a black lipstick. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my NYX eyeliner to just line my lips with, and I think it's only fitting that I use my Kat Von D liquid lipstick in the shade Witches, and this is just a matte black lipstick. Here is the finished look. I feel like I should be playing the devil in a movie or something, because this look is just reminding me of like something very dark, and I don't even know, but I really like it. I haven't done a look like this probably ever. I don't know, at least not this color combination, and I'm kind of digging it. Let me know what you think. Do you guys like very dark looks like this? Because I am feeling it. So I am going to not wash off my makeup this time, and I will see you shortly, probably tomorrow for me, for look number 3. So I will see you then. Alright, so for this third look, I think what I want to do is I want to do a halo eye, and I want to start off by using this Kink shade, which is a purpley pink. I guess it's more of a purple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in my crease. And I did set my primer today because I want to give this a better chance of blending out, because this is going to be more of a blended look than some of the other ones that I've done. So far, I mean, this is applying really nicely. I'm just using a big fluffy brush, and I'm just putting this from the outer part to my inner part of my crease, so really all over my crease. And I'm going to try to keep the shape pretty round on this one, since the other ones I've done have been kind of blown out and dramatic. I'm really tucking this into the inner corner here, and also making sure that I bring it high enough up that when I do put the halo in the middle of my eye, that I might still be able to see it when my eyes are open, which that might not happen because my eyes are very hooded. So it's funny because I posted a picture the other day on my Instagram of a halo eye that I did, and someone was like, oh, I love how you can't see the halo when your eyes are open, and then when you close your eyes it's like boom. And I'm like, well, that's not really my fault, that's my eyes' fault. I didn't do that on purpose, but I guess that's also a way to look at it. So I'm struggling a little bit more to blend out this side, and I think maybe it's because I didn't set my eyeshadow primer well enough just right in here, so it kind of has something to stick onto, or maybe it creased a little bit. I don't want to blame the shadow because I feel like it blended so nicely on the other eye that this is probably my fault. So if it's looking a little bit weird, it's just because I didn't set my primer properly. Next up, I'm taking Corset, which is this darker purple, and I suspect that this is going to pull more gray. but we'll see. It's also probably going to look darker than it does in the pan, which seems to be the case with all of these shadows. And I switched over to my Morphe M506 brush, and I really love this brush. It's actually probably like my favorite brush at the moment because I feel like it's so versatile. So what I'm doing is I'm putting this on my outer and my inner corner of my eye. I'm probably going to use a different brush for the inner corner because this one is a little too big for that. Next, I'm just taking my Morphe M149 brush and I'm doing the same thing on this eye. I'm just packing this on my inner corner right now, and I'll go in and start blending with my bigger brush after. I'm just going back to my other brush and I'm going to start blending the edges here. And I'm also going to bring this over and connect it in the middle, just slightly on top. Because I don't think I'm going to cut my crease here, I think I'm just going to go straight in with a shimmer. A lot of the time I feel like it's kind of unnecessary to cut your crease unless you're going for like a very graphic look, because the shimmer will cover up whatever it is that you might not be happy with anyway. So, and I also want my looks to be easy to recreate, at least most of them. You know, if you're watching these videos to get ideas on what kind of looks you can do, I feel like you don't really want to see someone doing like a triple cut crease. Like, let me know what you think of that, because I feel like people who are looking for these kind of videos are looking for inspiration more than they're looking for entertainment. I mean, I could be wrong because I like watching both kinds of looks, but for me personally, I feel like my content is better if I put up videos that I think people are going to be able to recreate. Let me know what you think of that. I'm also dipping into the black with my small brush. I'm going to just be placing this on the very outer corner and a little bit on my inner corner as well, but not much, just to intensify this purple that I put down. I don't want to cover it all up, I want it to still be there. Before I go in with the shimmer, I'm just going back in with that first shade that we put down as our transition, and I'm going to use that shade just to blend out everything and make sure it's looking good. So for my lid, I'm going to use this Deviant shade, which looks kind of dark, but it is a shimmer, and I'm going to put that right in the middle where I don't have any shadow, and then I'll probably go over with a silver like right in the very middle of the eye. So I'm going to spray my brush and then just apply this right in the center. Next I'm taking a darker purple and I'm just going over the edges where I put down the shimmer. And lastly, I'm taking Cuffs, which is the very chunky silvery shade. I also spray this one, and I'm using a very small pencil brush, and I'm just patting this right in the very middle of my halo, just to make this pop a little bit extra. And I think for my lower lash line, just to try out another shade, I want to go in with the dark blue. But first I'm taking a little bit of my MAC paint pot again, and I'm going to just run this on my lower lash line to make sure that the blue stays put. This step is optional, of course, but I find that it really helps the shadows stick to the lower lash line. Again, I'm taking my little Morphe brush, and I'm going to start just stamping this onto my lower lash line. Let me know if this is a better angle for you guys. I feel like whenever I put shadow on my lower lash line, you can't really see it because I'm like constantly looking down like this. So maybe if I start like looking in a mirror, you can actually see what I'm doing. Or if you don't care, that's fine too. Please let me know, because it's a lot easier for me to just look in the other mirror. But obviously I want you guys to see what I'm doing, so that's what we're doing today. So I'm really loving like how dark all these shades are. Like even in the pan, like they kind of look brighter than they actually are when you put them on the eye, and I like that because this is supposed to be like a very dark palette, so I'm very much enjoying the vibes that I get from this. Now I'm just taking a clean fluffy brush and I'm going to start really blending out, smoking out the lower lash line. And I'm also going over the two colors right here on the outer corner to mix those together. For my lower lash line, I'm going to use one of these Urban Decay 24/7 pencils. I got this set for $29 and it says it retails for $79, and I love these little mini sets because the Urban Decay liners are my absolute favorite. So if you're looking to try these, they are still available, I'm pretty sure, on Sephora. And the shade that I want to use is Goddess, which is a dark blue. So I'm pulling this down a little bit lower onto my lower lash line, and then I'm going to go in and just like blend this out into the blue afterwards. And to do that, I'm just using a flat little smudging brush. I'm also going to just line my upper lash line with a liquid eyeliner. This is from DHC Cosmetics and I really love this. I think I got this recommendation from Samantha March a while ago, but this has now become my holy grail eyeliner. I used to use the Stila liquid eyeliner and I like that one too, but ever since I tried this one, I just think it's so good. Oh, and I buy these on Amazon. If you want to check it out, I will link it down below. And before I put on any mascara, I'm going to use my Naked Cosmetics highlighting palette. And I'm going to go in with this purple on my inner corner. And if you don't have this, you can absolutely just use whatever highlighter you have, or it doesn't even matter, just something to make your inner corner pop. You can also just leave this alone because when you're doing a halo eye, you don't always need to have an inner corner highlight. Alright, finishing up with about 20 layers of my Back Out Bang mascara. For lips, I want to use this MAC Oh Sweetie gloss in the shade Purple Panna Cotta. I love these glosses. I know I've said that in probably so many videos by now, but I really like them. And this is just a really pretty blue-based purple. Okay, so here is the finished look. I think this might actually be my favorite. It's close between this one and the second one because I just really like that red shade. So I guess to sum up my review on the Kat Von D palette, honestly, I had no issues with anything really, except that some of the shimmer shades were a little bit crumbly, and I did have a little bit of fallout with them, but other than that, I mean, they perform beautifully. I'm really happy with how they blend out. The mattes in particular, I find really easy to work with, and the shimmers are great too. The lasting power so far after having worn this palette 3 times now for a full day is really good, and I would recommend it. If you have your eyes on this palette, I think it's a good investment, and it's also a limited edition palette, so if you are thinking about picking it up, you should probably do it before it's gone. Let me know down below what your favorite look was. I'd love to know. If this is your first time to my channel, I hope you would consider subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!